So what we want to talk about, and this is kind of what we talked about for those of you who are in here grading, is that the solution of an equation is just an ordered pair x, y that makes a true statement. And we should already know that intuitively because, I love using those big words with you guys, because we've already seen that this year. Have we already seen x values being solutions, that when we plug them into the equation they made a true statement?
Yeah.
The difference is now we switch to two-dimensional linear equations. So now because they're two-dimensional, I have to have two solutions, x and y. So those x and y's that make a true statement make up the ordered pairs that are solutions. And then these graphs that you've been making, whether it's from y equals mx plus b, or whether it's from x and y intercepts, the graph of an equation is the set of all ordered pairs that are solutions. So that's why while we were checking last night's assignment, we could follow that line to help us find solutions. The problem we found, though, is that the larger our scales are, the less accurate our graphs are. All right, so what I want you guys to do is at your tables, and Tim, you can pick either A or B, okay? You will do A, Rosemary, and Ethan, you will do B. But at your table, one of you will do A, one of you will do B. Compare answers with each other. And then determine if A or B is a solution to the set, to the equation x plus 2y equals 2. But notice, ladies and gentlemen, one of the directions tell you to do. Using the graph. So, figure out how to use the graph to determine if A, negative 1, 2 is the solution, or B, 2, 0 is the solution. So at your tables, figure that out. Who's checking A, who's checking B, and then compare answers.
Just write it out.
Not yet. I want you to use the graph. It's so hard to get this slide. Do you want to argue with me and make it clear enough for you to send your home?
Yes.
And then get going. So choosing an A, you're checking B. Is B the point 2, 0 on the graph? So which one are you doing, A or B? You're doing A. So it's 2, 0. Where's 2, 0 on the coordinate plane? It's on the graph. So do you need to have a calculator right now?
No.
No. Are you doing any mental math?
Yeah.
No. No.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
All right, eyes up front. Has every group done A and B?
Yes.
All right, have we compared answers?
Yes.
Do we agree? All right. How do you determine from the graph? Okay. So, what do you do? So it's negative 1, 2. All right, guys, eyes up front. Is negative 1, 2 a solution? What did your group decide? Yes or no? So how did you decide that? Look at the graph. Negative 1, 2 is the point right here, correct? Is that on the line? No. So this is not a solution. Now go to the point 2, 0. 2, 0. Is that on the graph?
Yes.
Yes. How many people had no yes in that order? Beautiful. What do you think it means by check algebraically? Becca? Plug it in for x and y. So now what we're going to do, Austin, or Alec, and this is what I think maybe you were looking for. I'm going to plug negative 1 in for x. I'm going to plug 2 in for y. So I have negative 1 plus 2 times 2, and I want to know if that equals 2. Well, this is negative 1 plus 4, which is 3. Does 3 equal 2? No. So whether you're plugging that ordered pair into the equation, which is what our first definition said about solutions, or whether it's using this understanding of what a graph is, we get no for A either way. If we look at point B and plug that in, we get 2 plus 2 times 0, 2 in for x, 0 in for y. And what is 2 plus 0? Is 2 equal to a true statement? And that's what we need for solutions. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? All right. I just wanted to go over that real quickly because I think that's one of the main points, and let you know why we graph these lines, because it gives us all these solutions. But we get so quickly into graphing that we really kind of miss some of these things of what it means to be a solution and to actually understand that this line is a bunch of ordered pairs, a bunch of x and y's that go together. And so what we're going to do today now is to show you how to use your calculator to help you generate all these solutions. So we're going to show you how to make a table of values. And then using your calculator to check the graphs that you make by hand. Okay? So I need you guys to get your graphing calculators out. Mr. Clem is going to give you guys a handout. Okay? The keystrokes to the calculator and what buttons to push are there. I'm going to be demonstrating it up here. And so I will also have the keystrokes on there. All right? So what we want to do, guys, is we're going to make a table of values, and we're going to model with the equation y equals 2x minus 5. All right? So the first thing you're going to do is to go to y equals and clear out that function. Notice it says to clear out. So you're going to go to y equals. And so up here, guys, to show you the button that I pushed.
Oh my goodness. Which one did you get?
This is a fancy calculator on my computer. What?
No.
How did you get that? How did I get y equals? I hit the y equals button right here. Guys, do you also notice, close your mouth and listen. Do you also notice the last key I hit is in what color?
Red.
Red. And this is exactly what you guys have in front of you, only much bigger, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, no, yours isn't gray, but all the keys are still in the same spot. All right, I need to clear that out, so I'm going to hit clear. Don't hit delete. You can't hit delete. You're going to have to hit delete for every character that's in that equation. So hit clear. Here's also what I want you to do. Some of you have older brothers and sisters calculators. You're borrowing friends' calculators. This only goes to 7. There are actually 10 functions that you can put in. So I want you to cursor down. Make sure there's no garbage in there. And I'll know whether or not you did this step, ladies and gentlemen, when you bring your calculator and say, there's an error, it won't graph, because there's garbage in there. If there's garbage there, clear it out. Davis, yours will do it, but not as eloquently as I'm able to. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. I won't be able to tell you how to make a table of values, so unless you know how to do that on your own, which do you? Then you need to use my calculator and bring your book to class.
I'm going to go from 9.
That's 10. All right. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to y equals, and we're going to type in the given equation. So we're going to do 2x. There is a specific button just for x. It's very okay. You don't have to use alpha. You are definitely not going to use the multiplication symbol. It's right here. Second row, second key. Now I see it's just for x. It also has t, theta, and n on. I can't even read that here. Yes, those are for different types of graphing. You won't get to that till pre-calculus. So just use the x. Second row, second key. Tim. Yep, you're still on y equal. Oh no. How did I get out of there?
Right. Press it again.
How did I get out of there? Yes, we still should be in the y's. I'm sorry, Tim.
Because you were on spot 1 and then you started typing at the very, very
No, you
top.
push clear.
Just go through the steps. You cleared it.
All right. We then have to hit, is it plus or minus?
Minus.
Oh, aren't you
So do we have y equals 2x minus 5? We're there? All
Yeah.
right. No, we are not going to hit graph.
Not now.
No, not at all. We don't even hit graph for quite a while. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure that we can look at a table of values because that's actually what we want to have today. We're going to practice making tables because tomorrow you're going to have to read tables. I'm going to show you what they look like. So you're going to hit second and then window because notice above the window key it says TBLSET, table set. We want to have your table in a useful position. We usually like to have our table start, if you guys look here, anywhere between negative -2 or -3 is a good place to have it start. We'd like to see the negative side of our equation. We like to see some negative x values and some positive x values. So usually starting at -2 or -3 is a good spot for it to be. There's this thing called delta table. And what that means is that's what your table is changing by. So we want our table to change by 1, which means if I'm at -3, I'm going to go to -2, and then -1, and then 0, and then 1 and 2 and 3. If you had 5, that means you would be counting by 5s, which is useful if you're making a very large graph and you're counting by 5s, you're counting by 10s. But for your table, you want delta table to be 1. You want independent and dependent to be on auto. What that means is it's automatically going to make you a table. If you don't have those on auto, you will get nothing unless you do the work yourself. And that pretty much is a waste of the calculator if you do the work yourself. So are we okay with this screen, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
All right. Stephen. -2 or -3. Yep, so you can hit clear if what you have there doesn't work, and then type in what we want. All right? Are we okay there, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
All right. Now what we want to do is we're going to go to second graph. Because if you look above the graph button, what does it say?
Table.
Table. So it's kind of like shift on a computer. So we're going to hit second and then graph. Graph is this little button up here. Voila, what did we just make?
A graph.
No, this is not a graph.
Value.
This is a table of values. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a boatload of solutions. Because we don't have just these solutions here. Watch what happens if I arrow up.
Wait. Oh no.
Boom! -4. -5. -6. It keeps going. If I were to go down, I would get more positive solutions. This is an endless table of solutions. So if I wanted to give you a homework problem that said find 500 solutions to this equation, you can make a table of values and have your questions and solutions for
Wait a minute.
pretty much a waste of time, so I won't do that. Gabby's going to relax. But this table will keep making them and making them and making them. All right? There's no stop to it. So yes, you could literally, Austin, sit there tonight, stay it for 24 hours, and just hit that button, and it would go.
You could just hold it.
Eventually, yeah, probably hold it.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. -3.
Will you break it?
It's right here.
Hold it.
Probably what would happen, ladies and gentlemen, is you would overload the screen capacity of the number of digits that could fit on the screen. And then it would have to zero out for you. So if you did this for hours upon hours. All right. So any questions on making a table of values, ladies and gentlemen?
No.
All right. So you guys are good to go. Now we do want to graph. Because for your assignment tonight, you're going to make 7 tables of values, and you're going to graph 4 of those 7 tables. And so what's really nice now is because you have this calculator, you can get your calculator to make the graph for you. Now, I'm still going to be looking for specific points. I'm going to be looking for accuracy, but at least let you know, do I have the right y-intercept? Do I have the right slope, positive or negative? So to do that, we want to go to window. We want to make sure our window range, what we see on the calculator screen, is good. I like x-min to be -10. Yes. Nope, you don't need to hit clear. You just push the window button.
Where's that at?
Window is the second button in the very top skinny row.
I have shade.
Okay, but what did I just give you here?
All those supposed to be 10 now?
No, they're not supposed to be 10. What's my first number?
-10.
-10, because that's the x min.
10.
That's the smallest x value. X max is your positive. X scale, ladies and gentlemen, this is the scale you are counting by. All right? So when we make a graph where we're counting by 5s, guess what our x scale would be?
5.
5. If I was counting by 10s, what would my x scale be?
10.
10. But for most of the graphs you guys make by hand, we're counting by 1s. So our x scale is going to be 1. Y min and Y max do the same scale, and Y scale is 1 also. X res is how fast it graphs, and I honestly, there's a minimum and maximum there, guys, and I don't know what those are. You really don't need to play around with it. 1 is a nice setting to have it at. You can also, and here's a nice thing to have, and there's 3-hole punch, so these can go in your notes. If you do Zoom 6, ladies and gentlemen, and Chapin, I see your hand up, we'll call you in just a minute. If you hit Zoom and then 6, Z standard, it'll automatically set those to your window. Okay?
We all got the same thing.
Yeah, we should. And then once you're done with that, guys,
Clear.
What happened to my calculator?
if your calculator didn't do that,
Oh no, you press like, yeah.
Just put the whole thing.
We'll go back to window, press window. Boom.
Chapin, what was your, oh, you got it?
Boom.
Got it.
Okay. You got it?
I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit graph.
Just hit graph. Oh.
Everybody know the same
Does
thing?
everyone get a graph?
I'm so crooked.
All right.
This says quit.
Oh, good. Did someone say quit? Good. All
Yeah.
right.
That's what I did.
I don't know, but please listen. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you're going to get an error because your stat plots are on. You'll know if your stat plots are on by looking at y equals. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, there's plot 1, plot 2, and plot 3. So if you go to your y equals windows and look at that. Right now, my plot 1 is turned on. How do I know plot 1 is turned on?
Because it's highlighted.
Because it's highlighted. Now, for me, it's not causing a problem because I apparently don't have any data in plot 1. Some people, and I think Armando, this could be your problem, you may have some data in there. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. On your sheet, I have the steps for turning it off. The other way, and this is an upgrade that TI has done, if you cursor up, notice how now it's flashing on top of plot 1?
Yeah.
If I hit enter, it will shut it off. All right? And then I can hit graph and I get back to the graph there. If you get an error, ladies and gentlemen, please bring that up to Mr. Clemeron because based on what the error says, it's going to help us find your mistake. If your error has a go-to option, most errors have quit or go-to. Guess which option I want you to choose, Josh?
Quit.
No.
Go to.
Go-to, because it'll take you to what your error is. So if it's a typo in your equation that you typed in, if it's your stat plot, if it's having extra garbage at the end of the equation. So Armando, did that work?
No, it doesn't do the same
Then
thing.
get it up here.
Yeah. How come the line looks like not straight?
Why does the line look not straight? Because it's kind of, it's like a real bad resolution TV. And so what it's doing is it's connecting these pixels. And there's a bunch of these pixels, so as it connects these little squares and turns it on, it looks more like a stair step than a straight line. So if we, I think if we changed our min and max and stretched it out a little bit, we could get it to look a little bit straighter. But it's just because it's, the screen is made up of a bunch of little squares, and it's turning those squares on, so they all have a squared corner to it. All right, but good question. That is what it's supposed to look like. The lines you give me, ladies and gentlemen, should not look jagged like your calculator. You're using your calculator to make sure you have a negative y-intercept, and what type of slope are you looking for on your graph? Positive. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Tim? Yes.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your assignment for tonight,
What does that mean?
you have 7 tables to make, and you are going, are we all listening? Because right now I feel like I've got people doing some other things, and that's fine if you don't want to listen, but you're either going to do too much work or not enough work to get credit. You're going to make 7 tables, 1 through 7. You are going to graph the options. Which ones are you going to graph? 1, 3, 5, and 7.
1, 8, 9, 3.
All right? So, do you need graph paper, Tyler Hill?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
So I will hand out graph paper in just a moment. Oh, no. Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness. What?
I was asking if we could screenshot the thing.
No, you can't screenshot the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll just ask you a really good question, and I mentioned it, but I don't think I was quite as specific as I needed to be. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, where did I have your table start at? No, where did your table start at? -2 or -3? Does anyone remember why I said that? No.
Oh, so you just see,
Some negative and some positive. So on your assignment tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it says 5 values. I should see 2 negatives, 2 positives, and guess what's going to be in the middle of that every time? Alright? So most people do this. They do -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Alright? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
So can we use that for the X value on all of them?
Yes, but I think when you get to a couple of those, you're not going to want to use those specific ones. So look at your table first, Darlene, before you set your mind in stone. Okay?
Could you just pick 5 random ones?
You could, but realize you have to graph these. So if you pick 2 random of,
No, like, could you like